Let's assume that I have, in this case, a super simple Bicep example with only just a couple of parameters and 3 different resources we are going to create. And the first thing I'll probably do is deploy this into Azure. Obviously, there are many ways to do it, but in this case, I decided to do an AZ group deployment towards a resource group and provided this template. And then afterwards, what I can now do is I can take a snapshot of that deployment by using the Bicep snapshot commandlet. So let me just go ahead and run that to see the end result. It's probably going to warn me a couple of times because I'm actually using preview technology, which is still into experimental phase. But it's always fun to live demo that, right? Here are a couple of warnings. But the end result that you can see on the left-hand side is that we now have a snapshot file, which contains all of the settings that the Bicep parameter file plus the Bicep file contained. So that's great. So now let's fast forward in time, and we're now going to make a change inside this environment. For example, we're going to change a couple of parameters inside this Bicep param file. So let's say that I'm going to change this to false. And let's also update this this friendly name here and save that. Now, in this environment, we can probably estimate, right, what is going to happen because these are just a couple of resources. Because we probably understand that if we change these resources, we'll probably know exactly which properties of which resources are going to change. But think about that large environment with all of the modules and sub-modules and sub-resources. At some point, you have no idea if I'm going to change this parameter, which resource, which loop, or which conditional deployment, or which module is going to change as a result of that. And that's what snapshots is all about. So let me go ahead and actually take that snapshot right here. Validate the snapshot right here, obviously. So now we're going to validate the changes that we made against the snapshot that we created before, which now provides this great overview. And obviously, again, these are just a simple example with only one resource that has actually changed, but it does provide me with, this is the property that changed, this is the old and the new value, this is another property, and this is also another old and new value. So a great way to validate, if I make this change, what is going to happen. And if I'm happy with that change, obviously I can just redeploy the Bicep file like this. So I'm just deploying now the Bicep file that I updated with the updated parameter file into Azure to deploy the change that I wanted to make. That takes a couple of seconds to complete, obviously. Not sure if you want to wait for that. It's now running. But the other thing that you now do is also update the snapshot. So what we've now have done is we have made sure that this change is going to result into this change in the end. We have redeployed the Bicep file, and using this mode override, we can now rerun the creation of that snapshot to make sure that the snapshot is compliant again against the combination of the Bicep and the Bicep param file. So this will essentially update the JSON file of the snapshot that we have on the left-hand side. It's a great feature, currently in preview, but definitely can encourage you to take a look at that.